Hey gang, Nate Bear here, lead technical tactician for Monument Traders Alliance and trade of the day. And in today's video, I want to go over a couple of different things. First off, a cool setup we put on in Daily Profits Live. It played out really, really well this morning. I want to review that with you. I want to go over the SPX, and then I've got a name that I'm watching that I think you need to know about. All right, so let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to do is go over a chart that we took in Daily Profits Live, a trade that we put on yesterday. Actually, it was a 30-minute setup, and it's funny, I've still got this all marked up, but basically Nvidia is like the strongest stock this year so far, the strongest of the mega caps by far. It's up something like 80% or more so far on the year. It's really, really strong. And what we had was this consolidation near the all-time highs. Well, what we noticed was this sort of reverse head and shoulders pattern. You can see I still have it marked up. And we got long yesterday, right in through here, with the idea that that Nvidia, could work its way up and break over 270 or so. Well, we got in yesterday, we held overnight, and this morning we locked in a huge gain. It was a lot of fun, as you can see. Nvidia, big pop up, and it was great fun. So the next chart I want to go over with you is the SPX, and continuing to look at the weekly chart. As we've been doing, we still have this weekly squeeze, which is in play, which is actually trying to fire long right now. It's trying to fire long this week. I think that we definitely have potential to get back up into this 4,300 area, somewhere up and through these old highs over the next 3 to 4 weeks. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm continuing to be a buyer on the dip. Every time we get a dip, I'm a buyer. If basically I could describe my job to you right now, it's to find strong stocks, set alerts to buy them on dips, and then sit back and wait and let that price come back to me. We've been doing that all week in Daily Profits Live. Now, the chart that I want to go over for you is AMD, and I'm looking for a run, let me clear my drawings here. I'm looking for a run into earnings. So earnings are coming up in AMD on Tuesday, May 2nd. You can see we have a squeeze down here. We've got our squeeze. We've got up here, we've got our trend. We've got our bull flag pattern. We've got our squeeze. So I've got everything I need. Now, what I'm looking at in AMD is, on the strength of the market, can AMD basically run up into that earnings date? So if you were following along with the last video, one of the things that we talked about is when can you buy out of the money calls? When does it make sense to buy out of the money calls? Well, I think when there's an earnings date, that's an example of when it's okay to buy out of the money calls. So the earnings date for AMD, as we just saw, was on May 2nd. So I think it's totally reasonable to come in here to this May 5th expiration. As you can see, I've actually already started a position. But these $95 calls, at this point, you could do like the $90 calls. You could do the $92 calls. Any of these calls I think makes sense for a pop higher in AMD into earnings. And I think it's at a great level. Anything over this 55 EMA, between say the 21 and the 55, so anywhere between say 90, 92, well, not 92, 90, let's call it 91 and 88 is a great level, in my opinion, to start scaling into some of those AMD calls in through here, and then look for AMD to pop into earnings. All right. So anyway, that's what I got. I hope it helps, and I hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon. Later.